We'll start with the prayers. I'll share the screen. We'll start with the prayers. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna Dhamma. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjanshalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्णा everyone Dandavat pranam. Okay, we'll start with this session today. This is for the 6th chapter. Always to Srila Prabhupada. I'll just give me a minute. I'll just. Oh, it's not shared, is it?
No.
The screen is shared.
Yeah. You are visible.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Just give me a minute. I'll just switch off the WhatsApp. Okay, just a quick thing. Just wanted to know, I was just thinking about it. So everyone is performing so well there. I mean, everybody is doing so well in verse recitation. So have you tried revising the verses for chapter
Yes,
1,
Mata.
chapter 2, chapter 3? Very good, Prabhuji. Hari bol. Because we need that. We need to memorize them on constant basis, that consistency has to be there, otherwise we'll forget. So it is a good practice to do it on regular basis. It could be, I mean, you can decide according to you, like whether it is 3 days within after every 3 days or once a week, or if a person wants to do it during any kind of other activities. If we are continuing with other activities, like if we are walking, we can just keep on reciting them. So that is just the remembrance of the Lord. So that really helps. Yeah. Okay. We'll start with Unit 1, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. So today we'll be covering for 9 verses, first 9 verses of 6th chapter, which talks about advancing in Ashtanga Yoga, Rukshu stage to Arudha stage, Yoga Rukshu to Yoga Arudha stage. So we'll cover it in details. We'll try to understand. So that is the reason why we are going slowly. We are taking only first 9 verses. So yes, would someone like to read this, please? Please volunteer.
Shall I, Mataji?
Sorry. Archana Mataji, you did not appear for the
Hare
exam,
Krishna.
right? Hare Krishna Mataji, Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Archana Mataji,
Yes,
Dandavat Pranam.
yes,
Mataji, am I
Tomorrow
audible?
I'll give Mataji.
Okay, okay, sure. Yes, Mataji, you read the next slide.
Yes,
Mona
Mataji.
Lisa
I'll give
Mataji
tomorrow
has,
Mataji my exam.
sure, Mataji, okay. Yes, Archana Mataji, please go through the next slide. Please read the next one because Mona Lisa Mataji has raised her hand. So, yes, Mona Lisa Mataji, please read. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Bhagavad
Krishna.
Gita, Chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga. Introduction, summary of the chapter. Link to previous chapter. In Chapter 5, Krishna described how to attain liberation by Nishkama Karma Yoga and also gave prelude to Ashtanga Yoga in text 5.27 to 28. In this chapter 6, Krishna describes Ashtanga Yoga in greater detail as a means to control the mind and the senses. Prerequisite for practicing advanced stages of Ashtanga Yoga is one must be purified through practice of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Conclusion. By describing Ashtanga Yoga in detail, Lord Krishna establishes it as an impractical, difficult to follow path. Therefore, one should reject it in favor of Bhakti Yoga. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, what do we see here? I'm just going through the book also. So, if we go through the first verse. Okay, so can anyone please tell what are the various, when we were talking about the yoga ladder in the previous chapters, what are the various yogas? I mean, I'm not asking about the sequence, that is the best thing. If someone can tell that also, we'll go through the sequence as well. But what are the various yogas on the yoga ladder? Which are the various yoga processes or the various the processes that are described? Please raise your hand. Yes, please. No one is saying anything. Okay, so which is the initial one? Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes, we start with Karma Kanda. Usually it is not a part of our yoga ladder. Very true, Prabhuji. Thank you. And after that Karma Kanda, what do we have? Initially we start with Karma Yoga, right? No, Karma Yoga. Initial is Karma Yoga, right? And which is divided into two parts. We covered Sakam Karma Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga.
Nishkama
After
Karma
Karma
Yoga.
Yoga, we have Jnana Yoga.
Mm.
Yes, then we have Ashtanga Yoga. So what do you feel? Can a person who is working into Karma Yoga, can he directly move on to Ashtanga Yoga? Can we jump with respect to the various yoga processes? Can I do that?
No.
No.
Okay, so how shall I go, I mean, about it? How do I need to proceed?
Follow Bhakti Yoga prayerly.
So that is the elevator. Yeah. So that is like the best of all, Prabhuji. But I just want to understand whether everybody is clear about the process, about the yoga ladder, which we have been discussing. So Bhakti Yoga is the best, which we, the devotees, we always attempt for. But Lord Sri Krishna, he did not ignore Ashtanga Yoga. Did you see that? In the sixth chapter, he covered a complete chapter onto Ashtanga Yoga. So this means that it also holds some position in the yoga ladder, right? But the reason why this has been explained is all the details are explained, and later when we see the process, how tiresome it is, how it takes such a long time, and it is what kind of difficulties are there in this Ashtanga Yoga, then a person tries to understand. Just imagine Arjuna, he was just think about the greatness of Arjuna, He was a great warrior. All of us know he was known as Gudakesha, right? So why he was known as Gudakesha? We have
He
read this.
conquered the
He conquered sleep.
sleep.
Yes, and
Laziness.
ignorance, yeah. So he conquered sleep. He could also shoot the arrows even in the night, right? So we know how great he was as a warrior. So just imagine what happens when, as I have heard through various Shiksha gurus, and during the various classes, also sessions. When we talk about the greatness of Arjuna, Arjuna had the capability, like ideally what happens if a person is fighting in a war. So, and when he has to invoke the weapons, the celestial weapons, they have to do it. How they have to do it? They have to invoke it through mantras, right? all of us would have watched Mahabharata, isn't it? So at least we understand that Ramayana and in Mahabharata and Ramayana, we have seen that,
Yes,
right? That
yes.
they have to invoke, if they
They
have
will
to
do
invoke a
this.
weapon, they have to chant a mantra. So it is also mentioned that when they have to chant a mantra, they have to do it for some specific fixed number of times. After
Mhm.
that, only that weapon will appear. And in case, and they have to do it in Sanskrit, no other language. So just
Mhm.
imagine if they have to do it in Sanskrit and if they mispronounce any particular syllable, that weapon would not occur because the mantra would not function. So that was the greatness of Arjuna. And Arjuna, why the Lord is explaining the entire Ashtanga Yoga to him, so that he understand which are the various processes. And we will discuss the Ashtanga Yoga in details. But still, after that, when Arjuna says, I can control the wind, but it is very difficult to control the mind, right? So that is the reason why we are talking about the greatness of Arjuna, that where do we stand, people of Kali Yuga, and who was Arjuna, to whom this entire Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Shri Krishna, right? So just to explain the importance of this. Now, what happens, this particular chapter, when we talk about, so this is what is mentioned, this Ashtanga Yoga, it is a means to control our mind and senses. Now, when we are doing some Karma Yoga, why are we following these different processes? Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is also known as Hatha Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, right? So why are we doing all these processes? Please share your answers. It's okay. I mean,
Ultimately
all
to,
the answers would be correct only. Yes. Please,
yeah,
yes, Prabhu.
ultimately to reach the Godhead.
Okay. And how can we reach? I mean, what exactly are they trying to do in the process? In these different processes, what are we trying to do in these processes?
First, we are trying to
Control
know.
ourselves and
We are trying to control, right? But what? Why? Because we are trying to purify. We are so much
purify.
conditioned that we are trying to purify ourselves, right? So
Yes.
all these processes are helping with the purification, isn't it? Where this detachment will happen later. I mean, there are various stages as we had discussed earlier. We won't go into those details now. So, Ashtanga Yoga, how it helps? It helps the person to control the mind and the senses, because there are certain Anga, right? Asht is eight, Anga is the limbs. So, there are 8 limbs of yoga, and the whole purpose is just so that the purification of the mind and the senses can happen. And if a person has to go into the advanced stages of Ashtanga Yoga, now see, why we are talking of Ashtanga Yoga's prerequisite? Because when we talked about Bhakti Yoga, everyone understands Bhakti Yoga is an escalator, right? If a person is in Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, in any of the yoga processes he is practicing, he can directly move on to Bhakti Yoga. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we understand this. But if a person is following Ashtanga Yoga, Ashtanga Yogi only can follow, a person can only follow Ashtanga Yoga when he is free from, when he is purified enough by practicing, by coming to the platform of Nishkam Karma Yoga first, right? This means that he is already okay. So what do we understand when we talk about this? We will cover this. There is a difference between the sannyasi and a yogi. We'll cover that. So the conclusion basically is the why the Ashtanga Yoga has been discussed in details, because to help everyone understand that how impractical or difficult it is to follow the path of Ashtanga Yoga. And therefore, we understand Bhakti Yoga is Susukham Kartum Avyayam, right? Very easy and very easy to follow. So, okay, I will cover what are the reasons. So, these are the various this is a categorization with respect to the various verses. So 1 to 9 is Yoga Rurukshu, Yoga Root practice. We'll be covering the various stages of Ashtanga Yoga practice, how a person sits and postures and other details will be covered between 10 to 32. Even the different levels of realizations. Then from 33 to 36, we have the necessity of controlling the mind. 37 to 45, what is the destination of an unsuccessful yogi? Yeah. Then we have 46 to 47 is the topmost yogi, Bhakti yogi, right? Now, Ashtanga yogis. Yes, Mataji Hare Krishna. Please read Mataji, Archana Mataji.
Ashtanga yogis like Nishkama Karma yogis engage in detached work to advance. Practical application of section 1. True renunciation manifests in detachment from possessiveness and enjoying propensities, and not necessarily in cessation of activities. Krishna consciousness is the ultimate plane of selflessness because a devotee only desires the pleasure of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So when we talked about thank you, Mataji. So when we talked about the fifth chapter, right, in 27, 28, verse number 27 and 28 in the fifth chapter, as mentioned, it was just a prelude of Ashtanga Yoga was given. But when we talked about Nishkam Karma Yoga, what is Nishkam Karma Yoga? What can we understand? What is Nishkam Karma Yoga? It's mentioned here. What do they do? Please raise your
Detachment of
hand.
work. Detachment
Yes,
of
they
work.
are
Detached work.
detachment of work. So what does this mean? Are they what do you mean by detachment of work? Are they not working? Are they detached to the work?
They're
Working, but
working, but they'll give the results for the Lord.
Please, I can't make out when everyone is
The
saying. Please,
fruits are
please.
the fruits are given to the God and not expected to. They don't
Yes,
expect.
yes, exactly. So they are not detached to the work. They are detached to the result of the work, to the fruits of that work, right? Now, what is Ashtang Yogi doing? Ashtang Yogis, what is the so see, what is an Ashtang Yogi doing? When we talk about a yogi, what do they do? They are trying to control their mind and senses. So can you see this yogi? What he is trying to do, he is trying to withdraw his mind from the sense objects. He doesn't want to enjoy sense gratification, right? And what is the sannyasi doing? Karmi yogi. What he is doing? He is renouncing the
Results of it.
result of his actions. As we discussed, he is doing detached work. So ideally, both are same, right?
Yes.
So, but who is a perfect sannyasi? So, if we go to the verse number 1, so this is the practical application that helps us understand that ideally Ashtang yogis are also like Nishkam Karma yogis in a way that they are also trying to do detached work, right? But until and unless they are purified by doing all the Nishkam Karma, they cannot move on to the Ashtang yogi stage. Okay, so that is why we said that this particular when we talked about the ashtanga yoga stages also, that a person can only come to the ashtanga yoga stage only once he is purified enough that he can leave the nishkam karma. Okay, nishkam karma yoga, because what he is doing ashtanga yogi, he has to go into the forest, right? If a
Yes.
person has any kind of sense gratification in his heart, this means he is impure, he has contamination. So if he is not cleansed of the contamination, can he go into the forest and do any kind of dhyana? No,
No.
right? That is the reason why Ashtang Yogi should only be able to perform Ashtang Yoga when he is already purified by when he has practiced Nishkam Karma Yoga to such an extent that he is purified enough, which means he is detached from the sense gratification. He doesn't want his mind is also not engaged in, he is not thinking about any of the sense objects, sense gratification, right? And he understands that it doesn't belong to me in a way that because he's not attached to it, we can say. So he doesn't desire any results also, right? He is not attached to the sense gratification. So this way we can say that the sannyasis and the yogis are same, right? So that is why it is mentioned. Now, who is a true sannyasi? Let us see the first verse, then we'll move on to this practical application. So, please read the first verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, first verse. Can anyone volunteer, please? Let's go
Yes,
through this.
Mataji.
Yes,
Anash,
please, Mataji.
Anashritah karma
Shri
phalam
Bhagwan Vacha, Mataji. Shri Bhagwan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha अनाश्रितः कर्म फलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निर्न चाक्रियः.
Yes, so what do we understand? Anashritaha. He is not ashrit on He is not dependent. He has not taken shelter of what? To the fruits of his work, right? So this means he is detached to the fruits, and who he is working as he is obligated in the renounced order of life as his duty. And he is the true mistake. That person is a true yogi, not the one who is not doing anything and he and not performing any duty. This means that what is the definition of a true sannyasi, a perfect yogi? That he has been purified enough to perform the Ashtanga yoga. If a person is pure, not is contaminated, he shouldn't be considered as a sannyasi. This is what is mentioned here. Yeah. So, karma yoga. So, what is the criteria for perfect sannyasi and a perfect yogi? I have. We'll move on to the slide now. So, it mentions karma yoga is better than Ashtanga yoga. Why? Because Ashtanga yoga as a means to control the mind and senses is very difficult, especially in this Kali Yuga age, right? And second point, one who desires to practice Ashtanga yoga, he should not suddenly give up the prescribed duties which purify the heart. We discussed this point just now, right? Because until and unless we have been purified enough, we cannot give up our activities right now. We are in the grihastha ashram. But what we are doing, we are dovetailing all our activities with Lord Krishna. We are keeping him in the center. We are keeping the Lord in the center, and we are doing all our activities, right? Everybody is working. People are working professionals. And otherwise, there are Matajis who are homemakers. Is it possible for us that we can just retire from all our activities? That we not perform our duty? No, it is not
No.
possible. We cannot go into the forest and do any kind of such sadhana, right? But Bhakti Yoga, even a child can perform Bhakti Yoga. He can also have the prasadam, right? Even an animal can be delivered just by having prasadam. Even the children can participate in the different functions, religious programs which happen, spiritual ones in the temple, isn't it? So how easy it is. Everyone cannot perform the Ashtanga Yoga. So, although third point, all the working, since a karma yogi renounces the results of his actions. See, why? Because he is renouncing the result, he is not attached to it. He is called a sannyasi. Why? Because his mind is not dwelling on the enjoyment for his own purpose, right? What he is thinking, okay, let me prepare. Okay, we are not at a stage wherein we are saying, okay, let me prepare bhoga for the Lord directly. We understand we are preparing, we're based on what we wish to cook at home, right? According to everybody's taste. We are not yet, I mean, at least I can talk about myself that I'm not at that particular stage wherein it abruptly, it comes, suddenly it comes out of my mind that, okay, let me just prepare for the Lord, right? Sometimes it happens, but not always. So, still we are in such a way wherein we are doing our some sense gratification is happening, but not but we what we can say that is not the sense gratification, because what we are trying to do is first we are trying to prepare the bhoga, so we have a control there, right? We are preparing the bhoga, we are offering it to the Lord, and then we are giving the prasadam to everyone. So that ways, and we are not continuously dwelling on the sense objects that okay, we want to enjoy something. So this is the difference between a devotee, the sannyasi, and a yogi. So thus we what do we understand? That the sannyasi and the yogi basically more or less what they are trying to do is same, right? And what is the criteria? Why the karmi yogi person is called as a sannyasi? He is good, as good as a sannyasi, because he is doing it for the Lord, for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna. So, a Krishna conscious person has no desire for self satisfaction. Why? Because his criteria is the
Krishna.
satisfaction of Krishna. Yes. Thus, he is the perfect sannyasi or the perfect yogi. And when we go through the purport, it is a very beautiful thing written. It says the duty of every living entity, first verse from the book purport. It says, that it is the duty of every to work in Krishna consciousness, to act in Krishna consciousness. It is the duty of every living entity because all are constitutional parts and parcels of the Supreme. And parts of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. And who is the whole? That is Lord Shri Krishna, because everyone is part and parcel of the Lord. So we understand. So ultimately, when we water the roots, all the branches, leaves, twigs, everything gets nourished. All the various parts of the plant, they get nourished. Thus, if we go through the slide, it is mentioned Lord Chaitanya prays for devotional service as the ultimate perfection. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadish kamay mam janmani janmani ishware bhavtad bhaktir ahetuke dvai. So this is from the Shikshashtakam. We recite it on daily basis, right? So now, which are the things which have been mentioned here? That Lord Chaitanya is praying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying that I don't want. Which are the different things which are being rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Can you please identify? Please raise your hand.
He
Yes,
rejects
everyone can
wealth.
participate. One. Yes, yes, Harshita Mataji.
Hare Krishna
One,
Mataji.
Mataji, just one, please.
Accumulation of wealth.
Very good. Yes, Madhav Prabhuji.
Enjoy beautiful.
Enjoy beautiful women. Very good. And then, yes, Jia Mataji.
He
Any
doesn't want
number of
even followers.
Yes, very good, very good. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji. So, and what is the other thing which is also mentioned?
He just want only the
Liberate.
causeless mercy of devotional service in mind.
So what does this mean? He wants only the devotional service.
Birth
So
after
he
birth.
doesn't want birth after birth. So he doesn't want any kind of moksha or liberation, right? He just wants devotional service,
Devotion.
birth after birth, whatever is the situation. So there is a very beautiful verse from 6th canto. Narayan parah sarve na kutaschan bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshva api tulyarth darshinah. That the devotees who are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, Supreme Personality of God and Narayan, in whichever condition you put them, they are not saying be it hell or heaven or any liberation. They're not asking for it. For them, the heaven, hell, or liberation, they are all are the same. For such devotees, they are only interested in the service of the Lord. So this is what is mentioned. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Yes. Yes, please, would someone like to read this, please? Volunteer.
Shall I, Mataji?
Um, let's take more hands, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Murari Chaitanya Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Bhagavad Gita text 6.2. Relationship between sannyasa and yoga. Both are same. Detached action is same as renunciation because both require freedom from desire for sense gratification. Real sannyasa yoga or bhakti implies knowledge of one's constitutional position as a living entity and acting accordingly. Constitutional position of living entity, part and parcel of the supreme marginal energy. Conditioned state, when the living entity is entrapped by material energy. Real natural state, when living entity is Krishna conscious. Stage of complete knowledge, when living entity ceases all sense gratificatory activities and acts according to spiritual constitution. How yogis achieve this stage? By restraining senses from material attachment. How devotees achieve this stage? By his constant engagement in Krishna conscious activities, he has no opportunity to engage senses in anything other than Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So what do we see as we discuss that? Uh, what is the relationship? Both are same actually, right? Sannyas and yoga. Okay, what is the, okay, we'll be covering that anyways. Yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, everywhere we are using the term yoga, right? That is connection with the Supreme. So that we'll be covering. So detached action is same as renunciation we have seen. A karma yogi is performing detached action. And what is a sannyasi doing? He is also renouncing. Why? Because he wants freedom from the desire of sense gratification. Real sannyasi yoga or bhakti. So what is real bhakti or real sannyas yoga? To understand who are we and what is our constitutional position, what is our relationship with the Lord. So, and then not only that, that is just one part of understanding. Second is and acting accordingly. So if we go through this complete sentence, it says knowledge of one's constitutional position as living entity and acting accordingly. That who are we? So which verse helps us to understand that we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord? Please raise your hand if you know that. One of the verses says we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Yes, Jia Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mamaivangsha Jivaloke,
Yes,
Jivabhuta
Mataji.
Sanatana,
Very good. Prakritisthani Karshati. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very good. So this is what helps us to understand that we are eternal fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme. And we are also known as the marginal energy. There are three energies of the Lord, right? We discussed the other day. So we are the marginal energy, Tathastha Shakti. And what is our real nature? Jivera Sarupaya, Krishnera Nityadasa. That we are eternal servant of the Lord and we have to perform devotional service to the Lord. So it is mentioned in one of the verses also that Gopi Bhartuhu Dasa Dasanudasaha. That I want to be the eternal servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, who is Gopi Bhartu, who is the maintainer of the gopis. And thus we understand. And when we are in the conditioned state, what is the conditioned state? We come in the conditioned state and we get trapped by the material energy because we forget our relationship with the Lord. So this is what helps us to understand. This is called real sannyasi yoga or bhakti. That we should understand who are we and what is our relationship with the Lord, right? And then we have to act also accordingly. And what are the stages of complete knowledge? Let's go through the verse number 2 in the book. Okay, please go through verse number 6.1 in the book and please read the second paragraph. It starts with the sannyasis sometimes artificially think. Can someone please read this? Please raise your hand in the book, verse number 6.1.
Sannyasi sometimes
Yes, Krishna Kumar Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Mataji.
please. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
The sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties and therefore they cease to perform Agnihotra Yajnas, in brackets, fire sacrifices. But actually, they are self-interested because their goal is to become one with the impersonal Brahman. Such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without self-interest. Similarly, the mystic yogi who practices the yoga system with half-opened eyes, ceasing all material activities, desires some satisfaction for his personal self. But a
Yes,
person
Prabhuji.
acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of the whole without self-interest. A Krishna
Yes,
conscious,
Prabhuji, please.
yes, Mother. A
No,
Krishna
please
conscious,
continue, Prabhuji. This
yes,
line, last line, yes.
yeah. A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus he is the perfect sannyasi or a perfect yogi. Lord
Yes, thank you,
Chaitanya,
Prabhuji. No,
yeah,
this we covered, Prabhuji. Thank you.
okay, Mother.
So thus we understand that what they are doing, they want to merge into Brahman, right? And even a mystic yogi, what he wants all the siddhis, right? That is why. So what do they have? They have their own self-interest. We have selfish interest, right? Every person.
Yes.
So that is the reason. But a person who is in Krishna conscious, a person who is a Krishna conscious person who is following Krishna consciousness, he has no internal personal desires, right? He has no desire for self-satisfaction. He only wants the satisfaction of Krishna. And so what he wishes, he wants to serve the whole, right? That is why this is the difference basically. That why real sannyasa yoga talks about what is our association, relation, what is the constitutional position of the living entity and how we should act accordingly. Because otherwise, that is the first verse is basically helping us to understand what is the definition of a real mystic, right? True mystic. And yeah, so when we talk about the second verse, what did we notice? That what is called renunciation, yam sannyasam iti prahur, yogam tam vidhi pandava, na hai asanyasta sankalpo. yogi bhavati kaschana. So, sankalpaha is desire for self-satisfaction. So, the second one basically helps us to understand that more or less they are same, right? That when we call something as renunciation, what is called renunciation, it is same as yoga or linking oneself with the supreme. O son of Pandu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. So that is why this second verse is in relation with the first one. Yeah. And what is the real aim? Yes. When we understand what is the failure of jnana and yoga. Okay. Yes. Stage of complete knowledge is when a living entity stops all sense gratificatory activities and acts according to spiritual constitution. Now, can we stop doing any kind of activity at any point in time? Is it possible for us?
Immediately.
No,
Not
If
immediately,
constantly
Mataji.
doing
Not
some
immediately.
activity, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji?
Stopping all the activities is not possible. We are constantly
Exactly.
doing some activity.
Some kind of activity is happening, right? Even if our body is not working, our mind is constantly working, right?
Working.
So it is not possible. And every person needs some kind of sense gratification activity to happen. Why? Because we are on the, since we are in this material world, we have a body, right? And there are body, for this body, I mean, the senses are there. If the body is there, senses are there. And senses are looking for some kind of sense gratification with the help of the sense objects. It has to happen. Some sense gratification. So senses are always looking for some sense or sense gratification. So, what is the best thing? That is why it is mentioned the devotees achieve this state because they are constantly engaged in Krishna conscious activities. We are continuously engaged in the activities. A Krishna conscious, a devotee is constantly engaged in the Krishna conscious activities, whereas yogis, they are artificially trying to restrain their senses. How difficult it is. Can we try? I'm really not sure. How many of you have tried joining the yoga classes sometime, or if I mean, if you have tried, yes, Hare Krishna,
yeah,
Krishna
I
Kumar.
joined Mataji. I joined yoga classes and
Okay,
during
okay.
before
Hari
COVID.
bol. Oh,
I
Hari bol.
joined
So,
and
what is your experience, Prabhuji? How does it help?
No,
Obviously, it
Mataji,
helps to some.
it was like the exercise only. We don't know all these things
Hmm,
that time.
exactly. So, it is helping at the bodily, from the bodily front,
That's all.
right? At the bodily
Yes.
level, it is helping
Yes,
because it is
Mataji.
going to make you fit and stable. Yes,
Yes.
Archana Mataji. Yes, please.
Yes, Mataji, I have attended the yoga classes. Like I learned this, all the Surya Namaskaras and all, which
Hari
is
bol.
helpful to maintain our health good.
exactly.
Okay, yes, Mataji,
Exactly.
right.
This
Yes,
this
Sonali
con
Mataji.
yes, Mataji. This is organized by
Yes,
these corporates nowadays. It has become a trend kind of a thing.
friend.
So
Yes.
that they first teach this Surya Namaskar only. After that, they never advance. After that, most of the people cannot continue. It is a very disciplined thing when we are doing Surya Namaskar. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to do it every day. Like
Mm.
so, it
Right.
doesn't suit our lifestyle now. So until
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
are there. Otherwise, you are quit.
But Prabhuji, these days the way it is done, it is actually, yeah, they are trying to do, they are trying to help the people, but they are doing it at a bodily level. That too, we cannot say it is yoga since they are not connecting us with the Lord, right?
It
And
can be
not only
termed as a
that,
physical
yoga.
exercise.
Exactly. And yoga, Prabhuji, I would only say only with respect to the body because, yeah, they help us to, they will ask you to focus or just close your eyes and then concentrate on something. How is it possible with your mind? Like, I mean, how can you really stabilize your mind? I'm really not sure. So I cannot comment on this because I really don't know much about it. But yes, some people might be doing it very properly. They might be
On
able
the
to advance also. I'm really not sure about it. But
no,
what I
on the
mean to
lighter
say,
side.
in general, since our mind is so much restless, so disturbed, it's really not possible for us to sit at one place and focus or concentrate on something. mm, Uh, like it's difficult.
On the lighter side, I just wanted to share a small thing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, please.
This concentration thing and focusing on something. One yoga guru came, and one of our employees was there, and after all that practice of 5 minutes of focusing and stuff like that, so everybody was asked question, what did you focus on? What did you focus on? One gentleman told that I just focus on the firing which I'm going to get after I'm leaving this yoga class. That is the kind of, because he did not complete the job of the previous day. That was his focus.
Yeah,
So,
so yeah.
so
So
our
this
mind
means
is
the
always
mind is
working. Your mind is
true,
working,
Prabhuji. Mind is always working. And see how restless it is. I mean,
Yes.
it's really not getting any kind of satisfaction or peace. It's very difficult. So how can a person really go ahead with Ashtanga yoga? So how yogis achieve, just imagine they are restraining, they are artificially trying to do it. They have to do it from the material. I mean, they are trying to restrain their senses from the material attachment, right? But for the devotees, it is constantly they can engage. There are so many limbs, Angas, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam,
Achanam Vandanam
Dasyam,
Dashyam
Sakyam,
Sakyam
Atmanivedanam.
Atmanivedam.
Yeah, so there are so many ways, a variety of different devotional services, wherein we can engage our mind. A number of things, Prabhuji, like meditation is there, so Shravanam is there, Kirtanam is there, chanting of the holy name of the Lord. That is the best thing because it is on daily basis we are getting our purification done, right? It's the cleansing is happening. That material contamination is there, but it is happening on daily basis. Someday that particular transformation will happen wherein we will actually in reality we will realize the true nature of the Lord, of supreme as Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. We understand we are trying to act in that particular I mean in that particular way, but still with that surrender that is yet to happen, right, of that extreme level. So yeah, so this is the purpose of understanding what is the difference between this uh, Bhakti Yoga and the Ashtanga Yoga. And what is the failure of Jnana and Yoga? Yeah. And what happens, it's too troublesome. It's very difficult. It is not possible to complete and attain it in one particular life. So what is the real aim of life? The real aim of life is to give up all the selfish satisfaction and be prepared to satisfy the Supreme. Who fails in this aim? A person who has no information of the Supreme, that the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we should not be lording over anything, right? He is the complete proprietor controller, isn't it? Well wisher benefactor for everyone. And one with no information of the Supreme must engage in selfish activities. So, what does this, or what helps you understand? I mean, what do you understand with this particular statement? The second statement, one with no information of the Supreme must engage in selfish activities. Yes, Hare Krishna Jibon Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, I actually raised my hand in previous time.
Okay, okay. Sure, no
Actually,
worries.
I just want to share my experience with the yoga.
Okay,
Actually,
Prabhuji, yes,
I
please.
firstly I'm interested in yoga system, but I can't think that yoga means that to reestablish the relation with the Krishna God. Actually, I also read in Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna also not to dare the yoga process to control for the sense gratification. He claims that Chanchalam hi mano Krishna pamati balabhadram pamati nigrah manne vayu sudushkaram. Actually,
Yes, Prabhuji.
yoga is not suitable for the age of Kali. It is happen in the age of Satya Yuga. Actually,
Yeah,
but
Prabhuji, yes, true.
actually Arjuna was great warrior and the master of control of sense control established. But he not to dare the practice dhyana yoga. But how he can dare to?
True,
That's not
Prabhuji.
possible.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, so that is the reason why this particular complete discussion was happening. Why Lord Krishna has taken up this discussion with Arjuna.
Yoga actually Harinam Sankirtan yoga.
Hari's Ram Sankirtan.
When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, remembering the Lord, and it is automatically can control our senses. That is possible. Unless
True.
we can't.
Yes, very true, Prabhuji. Why? Because when we are chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare. We are focusing, we are concentrating on every word of this mantra. And when we focus, when we are concentrating, basically we are meditating, right? We will cover that later in the various stages of this yoga, Ashtanga yoga. So basically, a devotee is already doing the meditation because he's meditating on the particular word, and which is not different from the Lord himself, right? It is not different. So, okay, we'll continue. So, who fails in the same? One with no information of the Supreme must engage in selfish activities. Why? Because they have not, their purification of that particular level is not yet done. So they are yet to completely purify themselves by engaging in the different activities, right? So that is the reason. So once a person has been purified and he has reached that particular stage of Ashtanga yoga, then only he can take up the Ashtanga yoga, the practice which we are discussing, which is very difficult. And if he fails in the Ashtanga yoga, right? Then what does this mean if we do not give up the activities of selfish nature? Because there is a prerequisite. So, what is the criteria? Like, for example, we understand for starting with this Bhakti Shastri course, there was a criteria of following all the four regulative principles and chanting minimum 16 rounds of chanting, right? Isn't it? Now, is it possible for a person, anyone can go and do the Ashtanga yoga if he has so much of selfish desires in his heart? It is not possible because he would not succeed, right? That is what it is written that uh, he is going to fail in the failure of jnana and yoga if we do not give up the activities of selfish nature. He has to purify himself, right? So, and who fulfills this criteria fully? Only a Krishna conscious person who has no desire for sense enjoyment and who is always engaged for the enjoyment of the Supreme. Yeah, let's try to understand this. Yoga, there are two levels of yoga practice. This is verse number 3 and 4. I'll read the verse from the book first. Verse number 3. Arurukshurmuneryogam karma karanam uchyate yogarudhasya tasyeva shamah karanam uchyate. So, what do we mean by Arurukshaha? So, Arurukshaha is the neophyte stage when a person is starting, just beginning to practice this yoga, right? That is known as Yoga Rurukshu, beginning stage. And Yoga Arud is a Hindi word, right? Wherein we understand Arud like he is situated or sitting, isn't it? So Yoga Arud, that is the advanced stage. So a person who is just beginning, he is known as he is known as a person who is situated at a Yoga Rurukshu stage, a person who is a neophyte who is just starting. And Yoga Road is the advanced stage, that a person who is situated at that particular stage, Yoga Road is the advanced stage. We won't say that this is the perfection stage because perfection is only the Bhakti Yoga, right? But this is the advanced stage. So, what is the meaning of yoga? It is the process of linking oneself with the Supreme. So, in Karma Yoga, in Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, the purpose is connect with the Supreme. Then only it is to be considered as yoga, right? So, thus we understand. For one, I'm just reading from the book, I'm reading the verse. For one who is a neophyte in the Eightfold Yoga system, work is the means for him to attain the elevation. So, what he has to do? He has to carry out certain activities. So, a person, when he starts with the yoga, when a person is at a yoga rurukshu stage, he is not completely purified. He is still carrying out the activities of Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? So, carrying out the activities, work is said to be the means. And only when he has attained such kind of a stage while working like this, and he has attained a stage wherein he's completely purified now. That okay, now he has withdrawn himself from all the sense objects, he has complete control of himself. Then only he will go ahead and move on to the yoga road stage. Okay, so for him, work is said to be the means. So he cannot he has to carry out he has to perform the duty. And the one for one who is already elevated in yoga, which means yoga road stage, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means for elevation. So is this clear? This particular verse? This means that for a neophyte person who is just now starting with it, he has to carry out all the activities, prescribed duties, whatever he's being asked to do. But if a person is in the yoga road stage, this means he has so much advanced in his practice that now he is free from all such kind of impurities. He can concentrate his mind. His mind has become very steady. He's self-satisfied. Now he can go into the yoga road stage. Then what he can do, he can directly go into the forest and he can just leave everything and directly he can go into the samadhi stage, right? That is what is to be understood with this. Now, the analogy that is given is yoga is compared to a ladder. Now, this we understand, right? We have covered it. So, it begins from the lowest material condition of living entity to topmost spiritual realization. We just now covered, right? Starts with the Karma Kandi state, which is not a part of the yoga ladder, but it is the stepping stone. Then we have Karma Yoga, which is divided into Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then we have the Jnana Yoga, then Dhyana Yoga, and then we have Bhakti Yoga, right? So complete ladder is called yoga, which is divided into three parts: Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. The beginning is called the Yoga Rurukshu stage of the Dhyana Yoga. Okay. So please don't get confused. This is with respect to the Dhyana Yoga we are talking about. Beginning is called Yoga Rurukshu. Highest rung is called Yoga Rur. Now, what is the gradual progress of Ashtanga Yoga practice? Yama. Okay. 8 limbs. Do you know about these 8 limbs? Which are the names? 8 limbs, Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtang, it means?
Yama, Yama,
Yes,
Niyama,
Mataji, very good, yes.
Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi.
Samadhi, very good, Mataji. So, what do we see? These 8 limbs are there, but there are 2 categories. There are 2 levels of Ashtanga Yoga. This is level 1 and this is level 2. Okay. In the first level is talking about Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. Okay. So basically what is happening, the control with respect to the mind and the senses is happening at this particular level. We start with Yama, which are the don'ts, prohibitions. Then we go to the Niyama, rules. This is in sequence. Okay. We cannot just jump from Yama to Asana or Pranayam. No, we cannot do so. It is in sequence. A devotee, a person, sorry, not a devotee, but a person who starts a beginner who starts with the Ashtanga Yoga, first what does he do? He has to start with Yama. Then he will move on to Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. After this, he moves on to the second level, which is called, this is the meditation level. So we have 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 is called the meditation level. Dharana, he fixes his mind on the Lord's form. Dhyana, so what is he fixing his mind onto? On the super soul form of the Lord, right? Dharana, Dhyana. So these are basically when he is meditation is getting more intensified, he'll move on to the Dhyana Samadhi, right? Dhyana and then complete absorption in the Lord, it is Samadhi. So these are what you can say gradual elevation or the gradual intensification based on his absorption in the Lord. These are the various levels: Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Now, when a person is in the Yama, there are the various activities which a person has to follow. He has to be non-violent, he has to be truthful. Asteya is non-stealing. When non-violence, it should be not harming any living entity, right? Brahmacharya, they have to follow the chastity. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. We have to understand we should not be greedy, we should not keep on possessing. It's not only the material, it's not with respect to the wealth, only with respect to the wealth. It could be related to the anything, it could be information also. So, aparigraha, non-possessiveness. Niyama. So, in niyama, we have shocha, so that the purity, cleanliness of mind, speech, body, and then santosha, contentment. Tapas, they have to carry out certain austerities. Swadhyay, they have to study the Vedas, and Ishwar Pranidhan, contemplation on the Ishwara, right? So, these are the various, as a part of the yama, which are the various activities they have to carry out. Similarly, yama, niyam, asana, we know the various, there are bodily exercises, right? Different asanas are there as a part of Patanjali, right? This is with respect to the Patanjali yoga system, 8 limbs of yoga. So, pranayam is the breathing exercises, saman, apan, udan. So, there are different breathing airs, right? The airs are there. So it comes as a part of pranayam, and then we have pratyahar. Pratyahar is basically wherein the person is trying to withdraw the senses from the sense objects. When he gets in, when he becomes an expert in doing this pratyahar, then only he will advance in the stage of dharana. So then only he will be able to, he will be become fit to do meditation on the Lord, right? This is the stage. So it, how many years can it take? How many lives it can take? No one can say, right? But that is why what has been mentioned, that a person who is in Krishna consciousness, a Krishna conscious person, however, he's since the beginning he's situated on the platform of meditation, right? How we are always thinking of the Lord and being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna. We have already, I mean, a devotee, I won't say we, a Krishna conscious person, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform of meditation. I'm sorry, I don't consider myself that way. So now, because he always thinks of Krishna and being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all the material activities. So, this means that a devotee who is a Krishna conscious person, a devotee, he's constantly thinking about the Lord, right? Constantly meditation is happening. On daily basis, we are chanting the holy name of the Lord. A devotee is always chanting the holy name of the Lord. A devotee is always doing swadhyaya. A devotee is always attending the Srimad Bhagavatam classes, right? Continuous meditation upon the holy name of the Lord, continuous meditation upon the form of the Lord is constantly happening. Isn't it? Attending the Mangal Aartis, performing Mangal Aartis at home, preparing the bhoga, and being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna. So, when a person is engaged, this means what? He has already stopped his own sense gratification. He doesn't require anything for himself. He has stopped all the material activities. What did the verse number 2 say? Verse number 2. Can please someone identify the second line? He is considered to have ceased all material activities. Verse number 2, what did this mention? Sorry, verse number 3 it is. Verse number 3, sorry. Yes, please read somebody from the book. Verse number 3, the last line. What does a person, a yoga rudha person, one who has reached the advanced stage, what he can do? He can, what can he do? Yes, Harshita Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, please. I didn't see your hand. Yes.
Mataji, you're referring to text 3, right? Wherein in the first
Yeah.
paragraph, Yogarudha concept
No,
is
not the
introduced.
paragraph, not the paragraph, Mataji, just the verse, the last line of the verse. So, what is the connection here? What do we see the connection with respect to the slide and the verse? What is the connection here? Can anyone identify the connection, please? Please raise your hand. Yes, Akash Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Mataji, such
Krishna.
a person can always think of Krishna.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Verse number 3, the shloka, not
Yoga
the purport,
Rudashya
the
Tashyapa
translation.
Samakaranam Uchyate.
Not the verse, Prabhuji, the verse translation, the last line of the translation, verse translation. So what does
Cessation
it,
of all material activities is said to be the means.
yes, and what do we see here in the slide? What does what is the position of Krishna conscious person, wherein it says and being? Yes,
Constantly engaged in the
Constantly
service of
engaged in the service of Krishna.
yes. So he is already considered to have ceased all the material activities. So he's already reached the which stage? Yoga, which is the main stage, final. This stage is known as
Yoga
this
Rudashya.
stage.
Yoga
Yoga,
Rudha.
no. Yoga Rud, the
Yoga
advanced
Rudha.
Yoga.
stage.
Yogarudha.
Yoga.
Samadhi.
Yes, so both the Prabhujis were right. So he's constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, and so he has already ceased all the material activities, which is basically a prerequisite for the Yoga Rud stage, right? So he has already achieved that because he is constantly into the meditation of the Lord. A person attains this Yoga Root stage, the complete absorption of the Lord Samadhi. For this, the prerequisite is he has to, for the dharana itself, what is the condition that he has to stop all the material activities, right? He can do that. He can leave all the Nishkam Karma Yoga when he, what happens when a person is a neophyte and starts with the Ashtanga Yoga, he has to carry out his activities of Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? He cannot, he has to carry out all his duties. In parallel, what he's doing, he's trying to follow ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya. What are we doing? We are following all the four regulative principles, right? Which talks about which are the four regulative principles? No meat eating, no non-violence, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no sex indulgence, right? So what do we see here? That a person is already doing rules and regulations here. We are also following the rules and regulations, right? And we have all the pratyahara. We are doing it because how the devotee is doing the pratyahara? Because we are engaged in satisfying the senses of the Lord. The devotee is satisfied he is engaged in satisfying the senses of the Lord. And what comes in meditation? Complete absorption in the Lord. As a part of the meditation, what is a devotee doing? He is meditating on the form of the Lord. He's chanting the holy name of the Lord, isn't it? So what do we see that bhakti yoga, a devotee is already at the stage of meditation, isn't it? And thus Krishna consciousness fulfills all the criteria of yoga rudh stage. Arudh means someone who is already situated. Like Lord Vishnu is also said to say Garuda Arudha, right? I mean Garuda Arudha. Like he is already sitting on the Garuda or situated on the Garuda. So Krishna consciousness fulfills all the criteria of the yoga rudh stage by engagement in the transcendental loving service, and one is always pleased in himself. What happens? And he's no longer engaged in sense gratification. How is a person pleased in himself? Because he is trying to see the satisfaction, right, for himself. And when he is trying to see the satisfaction for himself, why is he trying to what he's trying to do? He's trying to serve the Lord. And this Lord, He is the one who is providing the satisfaction to everyone, right? He's already Atma Ramasya, right? Atma Ram. Lord is already, he's self-satisfied. So when a person is trying to find the satisfaction, when the person is trying to look for the real satisfaction in his life, the Lord, who is the source of the satisfaction, He gives that particular satisfaction to the devotee. And that is why the devotee is always pleased in himself, because the Lord is always Sachidananda Vigraha. So he's always blissful, he's full of bliss and satisfaction. And so he gives that pleasure and satisfaction, the Lord gives that pleasure and satisfaction to the devotee. And thus the devotee also becomes pleased. Why? Because he's looking for that internal pleasure. And so he's no longer engaged in, and he is also not engaged in sense gratification. A Krishna conscious person can do everything for the satisfaction of Krishna and thereby be perfectly detached from sense gratification. And what happens without Krishna consciousness? As we discussed, senses they have to be engaged, right? And without Krishna consciousness, they will be engaged in some kind of sense gratification. And with sense gratification, there will be bondage. So, a person, we understand, if a bondage is there, then a person has to take birth again and again. And we understand this is a dukhalayam or shashvatam, isn't it? Now, verse BG takes 6.5 and 6. Would someone like to volunteer to read this, please? Yes, please. Yes, Vinod Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. PG
Hare
text
Krishna.
6.56. Mind is both one's best friend and worst enemy. Importance of mind control. Controlled mind as a friend. Follow dictation of supersoul, detached from self-gratification. Result elevates us. Uncontrolled mind as an enemy. Follows dictation of lust, anger, illusion, etc. Attached to sense gratification. Result degrades and entangles. Mind control center point of yoga practice. To draw the mind away from sense objects. To control and make it a friend in discharging the mission of human life. Best way to disentangle mind, always engage mind in Krishna consciousness life. Perfect surrender to Lord's dictations follows automatically in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So yeah, so importance of mind control. There are several mind management, mind control technique sessions, that happen. Seminars also happen. It keeps on happening in various organizations, right? So how much of mind control is required these days? All of us, we understand that in Kali Yuga, every person is disturbed, right? Prayen alpayushah sabhya kalau asmin yuge janah mandah sumand matayo mand bhagyah updritah. So a person who is in Kali Yuga, he's always disturbed, you know. Let me just point 10, I believe. Mhm. Yeah. So see, Prayan Alpayushaha, Alp Ayu. So Ayu is already, the duration of life is decreased, right? O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. Every person is having short life. They are quarrelsome. They are lazy. Lazy how? They are spiritually lazy. They are always misguided. Why? Because there are different kind of so-called gurus, you know, and so they are being misguided. People are really being misguided, and they are unlucky because if they are not really following the acharyas from the disciplic succession, then they get misguided. Unlucky. They are unlucky because they might not get the shelter of the acharyas, and they are unfortunate. And above all, they are always disturbed. Our mind is always disturbed. This is what we understand from this. Why? The reason, see, the overeating, overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. And what is that vitality? That we have to engage in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, the duration of life is shortened. The people are also lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self realization. So, yeah, so thus we understand it has become very difficult, therefore, to raise the spiritual standard due to the present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to disentangle all the fallen souls, and here they are, seeking the remedy from Srila Sut Goswami. Isn't it? So, I mean, so this is the mercy of the gurus and the acharyas, you know, this is the mercy. So the controlled mind. So thus we understand how disturbed our mind is. So a controlled mind, when a mind is controlled, it becomes our friend. And how can it become a friend? There are always two voices, you know, when it comes to there are choices when we have to make certain choices. There are always two voices that we get in our mind, right? What is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I should not do, isn't it? But in case if our mind is strong enough, if our intelligence is strong enough, then we make the right decisions, right? Because the intelligence really helps us to control the mind. And it how can we really control our mind? We say, okay, we can, what is the best way to disentangle the mind? That we have to engage the mind in the Krishna consciousness life. And we have to surrender. We have to surrender to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. We have to surrender to the Lord's dictations, isn't it? Perfect surrender to Lord's dictation follows. Automatically, it happens. Now, can I say, okay, today I will do the japa, tomorrow I'll skip, a day after tomorrow I'll do again, I will skip? No, I can't do so,
No.
right? Okay, when we prepare for the, if you have noticed, in our school life also, did we notice that in every class there will be some kind of repeating chapters? At least in maths, it was there, right? In mathematics. So why
Yes.
was it there for us? What was the reason? Why did we always receive such kind of mathematics chapters? I mean, why were they repeating for us? In the various classes also, even if we have done, what used to happen? They used to increase the level of complexity, isn't it? Like integers, every time they will be there, then you will have polynomials, then later you will have quadratic equations, right? It will keep on increasing, but at the same time, we need a practice, isn't it? So when a person is doing so much of practice, after that also we forget. So just imagine we are such conditioned souls that we have been forgetting birth after birth so many important, I mean, spiritually we have been forgetting. So how is it possible for us to retain that original constitutional position in one instance just like that? Is it really possible that we can do the japa today and or I mean, I just want to explain the importance, you know, I want to emphasize on this, that only with the practice and the detachment, only with constant practice, it is possible to control the mind. And mind is so flickering, even it goes after the one next moment it goes off. Isn't it? Am I right?
Yes,
Everyone
Mataji.
faces
Yes,
these
yes.
Yes,
situations.
Mataji.
Everyone faces these situations. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so there is a story, like a small story wherein a boy, he gets a genie. There is that Aladdin thing, no? Everyone knows about the Aladdin story, right? Wherein he gets the genie. So similarly, a boy gets a genie. He feels very happy. He feels so happy and content that whatever he rubbed the lamp and that genie appeared. He used to make all his whatever he wanted. He used to wish, and his requirement was being fulfilled. His all his requests. So he was feeling so happy. Genie, give me the toys. Genie, give me the chocolates. Now, Genie, give me the balloons. Now the boy got tired because the moment he used to think only, the genie used to appear and give everything. He used to deliver everything whatever he requested. Now, and genie was like, in case if you will not ask me anything, I'm going to, if you will not make any kind of request, I'll eat you up. Just imagine, just think about the mind now. What happens? He needs some kind of engagement every time. We need that engagement, isn't it? Otherwise, how the mind eats us up? How? Because it gives us negative thoughts, isn't it? So what
Yes.
happens? He went to his mother, and what did the mother say? You tell one thing, you engage the genie in such an activity, let ask him to go to the pole which has some steps or stairs. Ask the genie to go up and down, up and down. And Ginny was so much busy in going up and down, up and down, that he forgot that there was night. After the night, the morning appeared. So just imagine, we have to train the mind, isn't it? Otherwise, the mind is going to overrule us. And that is what happens. It is going to engage us in different sinful activities. So this is, and this affects our consciousness also then, isn't it? And not only that, it is also mentioned, right, that in the morning, whenever we get up, we have to beat ourselves with a shoe, and when we sleep, we have to beat ourselves with a broom. Like until and unless the mind, the mind is like a child, but if we beat the child, the child won't like it. But the mind is like the opposite child. The more we beat the mind, the more it will remain under our control. So this means when we say beat the child, this means to keep him disciplined, to keep him under control, under our constant this thing, vigilance. So that is the only way of controlling the mind. So we have to follow the dictations of the super soul. We have to be detached from the sense gratification. Then only the result is it is going to elevate us. Uh, in okay. So what happens, the mind basically, whatever the thoughts that we get, the mind works according to that. So when we say we can try to control our mind, make our mind as a friend, how can I make my mind as a friend? The thoughts, they play a major role. The association plays a major role, right? Which are the other things that can help us understand how can I make my mind my friend? The association that we keep, it really helps us a lot to help us train our mind, because then our mind will go in the right direction. So having the association of the right people, having the association of saintly people is really going to help me train my mind, keep it trained, isn't it? And the other thing is the thoughts, because the thoughts only, they turn into actions, right? Yeah, so that is why we should understand how to control, and we have to do it only with constant practice and detachment. So, thus, we see uncontrolled mind is an enemy. It follows the dictation of lust, anger, illusion, etc., and it is attached to sense gratification. Result is it degrades and entangles. So, uncontrolled mind as an enemy. Can you relate? Can you share some of the examples from our Shastras, from Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein we can say how the uncontrolled mind was an enemy? How did it degrade people and entangle them? Any example, please? Yes, please. Okay. Do you remember the example of Indra, the story of Indra? When he was in the assembly and he was going, there was some music and everything was going on. When Haspati Dev arrived, he did not welcome him. Do you remember that? Yes, anyone, please? And he went, he suddenly he disappeared. Who disappeared? Brihaspati Devi disappeared from the assembly. He was so much in his pride. He was so much, Indra was so much in his pride. What happened when he was enjoying the music, everything? I mean, I'm not getting the right term actually. What do they call to that particular sabha when they are singing and doing that? So he was just enjoying that. He ignored his guru, he ignored his spiritual master. And when he ignored his spiritual master, he understood. Who? Brihaspati Devi understood and he disappeared from there. And at the same time, what was happening? Shukracharya was the guru of the. Shukracharya is the guru of all the. Yes, please. He is the guru of Shukracharya.
Rakshasas.
Rakshasas, demons. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, he is the guru of all the Rakshasas, Asur. Now, what happens when his spiritual master disappeared from there? At that moment itself, his strength weakened. Indra's. Not only Indra's, all the demigods' strength weakened because they have disrespected their spiritual master. So, just because of this, see, uncontrolled mind is an enemy. And what happened? The demons, they were following all the orders of their guru, Shukracharya, and so they were becoming very strong and they were able to. I mean, when they had a war with with the demigods, no, what happened? The demigods lost the war, and the demons they won. They had won that particular war. And the reason being why it happened because they had disrespected their spiritual master, Indradev. And why he did? He did because he had his mind was uncontrolled. He was following the dictations of lust, anger. Basically, it was lust and illusion, right? So just imagine he was attached to sense gratification. Result is degrades and entangles. There is another instance wherein he appeared in the form of a hog, right? You remember that? He appeared in the form of a hog, Indradev, and he was so much indulged with all the she hogs and with his family, with the kids, that he denied going back to the heaven, to carry out and fulfill all his prescribed duties. Just imagine. So that is the nature of Maya. That is the power, that is the influence of material energy. It degrades and entangles us. So how can we control the mind? So the yoga practice, basically, the purpose is the central point of yoga practice is to control the mind, to draw the mind away from the sense objects. See, we cannot do it in case if we have to sit at one particular place. Can we really go and sit at one particular place for a long time? We can sit there for 10 minutes, right? If there is an activity for anybody, they can do so. They can just go and sit at one particular place for some time, but not for a long time because their mind is constantly engaged, right, in some activity internally, right? Mentally, some mind is always working, isn't it? So that is why it is mentioned that we should always try to follow what is right, what our guru says, acharyas, sadhus, and shastras. So, and we should try to have the good association of people because the mind is so flickering that on regular basis it needs that kind of positive nourishment, right? Isn't it? So that is why this is mandatory. This is really that much. It's very much required. And to control and make it a friend in discharging the mission of human life. So this is the purpose of mind control. And what is the best way? To always engage mind in Krishna consciousness life. Perfect surrender to Lord's dictations follows automatically. It happens in Krishna consciousness. We don't, the devotee don't doesn't have to do anything artificially, right? Isn't it? It automatically keeps on happening. Automatically, the your attraction towards the sense objects, towards the material world, it will reduce. You remember day before yesterday, if you would have attended the class, His Grace Ramanishta Prabhu's Srimad Bhagavatam class in the morning, what did he mention? That if a person is really not able to completely stay away from the material sense gratification, at least start minimizing it. Minimize. The person, how that is the constant practice. How can we do that? Start minimizing. At least some effort is going into that particular activity, right? So with the minimization, ultimately it will become nil, isn't it? Yeah. So why to train the mind? Importance of training the mind to deliver the conditioned soul from the soul from the mire of material existence in science. So that we understand, as we understand, this is Dukhalem Ashashvatam, and this ignorance, this will continue. So yeah, so what is the mire? One is subject to the influence of the mind and the senses. So we have seen senses, they are just like the hungry, this thing, no, serpents. They are always looking for sense gratification. They're always trying to go and attach with respect to the sense objects. Senses can never be stay. Can the senses stay inactive at any point in time? Senses can never stay
No,
inactive,
no.
right? Yes. So senses will never stay inactive. So pure soul is entangled in the material world because the mind is involved in the false ego and it desires to lord over. He wants to enjoy. The mind wants to enjoy. It is just the mind, which is telling you, okay, no, you do this. This is not right. Even if, like, for example, what happens if a person is getting addicted to smoking? What happens initially? It starts with just one single desire to just taste, right? Just imagine the mind is saying, okay, no, no, you try. Go ahead with smoking. The other voice in the mind is saying, what is the other voice saying? No, this is bad for you. It's bad for health. What is the bad mind saying? No, you are going to get association of people. You will get strong connection. What happens with the people who are working professionally? Sometimes they go out also, right? So there are different voices also coming in the mind, and the person has to make the right choice. So thus, it helps. This helps us understand how the mind is so strong that it can completely rule over the person. In what principle one should train the mind? Train so that one should not be attracted by the glitter of material nature, and it should not be, and this can happen only by constant practice on daily basis, not to be degraded by the attraction to the sense objects. Yes, and reference Amrit Bindu Upanishad. What does it say? Mind attached to sense object is a cause of bondage, and mind attached to sorry, I think I missed mentioning this. This is verse number 6.5 to 6. What does it say? It says mind attached to the sense object. What is mentioned in the verse, in the purport? Please check. Chapter number 6, 5 and 6 verses. Amrit Bindu Upanishad. What is mentioned? Mind attached to a sense object is a cause of bondage, and mind detached. Yeah, that's right. So mind which is a mind whose mind is attached to a sense object is a cause of bondage, and whose mind is detached to sense object is the cause of liberation.
Liberation.
Yeah. See, sometimes I'll just share one thing. It will help you in your breakout activity also. Sometimes I feel, okay, today I'm not going to do any other kind of activity. Only I will focus on Krishna conscious activities completely. And when my entire day goes like that, I feel so happy. But the other day again, so many n number of other different activities keep on coming. So this is what I'm saying. We need that constant practice, constant detachment is very much needed. So yeah, it's a practice, but it's so nice. On daily basis, you have that kind of enthusiasm that God has given you a nice day just to carry on with bhakti for the Lord. That yeah, and so we also understand that the way the mind works, it when we say it is your best friend, try to see the things in a positive way. So that really helps. Like whatever is there, that is. See, there is a example also which comes, I don't remember, or a story that comes. A person, when he sees the other person, he's lacking in some things. It could be related to the bodily features or it could be related to the wealth. Then that person should feel at least thankful or grateful with the gratitude that, okay, you have at least this much. You have the complete this thing so that you can at least show your gratitude to the Lord and continue with bhakti, with your devotional service to the Lord. But at the same time, pray for the others also. Yeah, so this is not to uh, downgrade somebody, but yes, just to showcase like it's this is the best thing which we have received, isn't it? Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Would someone like to read this, please? Thank you. Please
Hare
raise your
Krishna.
hand. Yes, Bhagya Lakshmi Mataji. Prabhuji, please read the next one. Hare Krishna. Yes, Bhagya Lakshmi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Bhagavad
Krishna.
Gita text 6.7 to 9 Symptoms of a person with controlled yoga rhythm is being completely neutral to all material existence and dualities. Symptoms of yoga rudra states 6.7 to 6.9. If the mind is made a friend as per text 6.6, the following symptoms develop in the following sequence. Completely neutral to all material existence and dualities 6.7. Sees all objects equally, pebbles, gold, stone 6.8. Fully satisfied by Jnana and Vijnana 6.8. Sees all people equally, most advanced stage 6.9. Intended goal for every living entity to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Deviation from the goal because of
Misled.
misled mind. When the mind is misled by the external illusory energy, one becomes entangled in material activities. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So these are the symptoms of Yoga Rudha. Now you tell me, please, which other two states did we talk about? Two
Yoga,
stages?
yoga Arishya and Yoga Rudha.
Yes, Mataji. Now, please, someone else should tell which one comes first
Arudya.
and which is the second. Which is the first one, Prabhuji?
Arudya.
No. First one, you go with the word, Hindi word. It's a Hindi word. Arud. Arud means betna, situated, right? So there are two. Yes, Akash Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Mataji, yoga ruruksha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So yes, so the neophytes, for them it is the Yoga Rurukshu stage. And which is the next one? Yoga Arud. Now he's situated on that particular platform of yoga practice, meditation. So that is Yoga Rud. Okay. That ways you will be able to remember. So that's a Hindi word. That's that ways. Yeah. So we have two of them. Then what did we see? How many are covered as out of the 8 limbs? What did we see? Yeah. Please go through this slide. So what did we see in the first one? What do we have? We have
Gama.
Yama, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, and then Pratyahara. So basically, if we see at the body and the mind level, the first one, the first category is with respect to the body and mind level, right? We're doing it at the body, bodily exercises, pranayam again, and then pratyahara at the mind level also. But the second one is completely meditation, isn't it? So there are two categories. Category one is up to pratyahara, then dharana dhyan. Actually, usually pratyahara also people don't consider as a part of the first one. But pratyahara is a part of, I've kept it a little separate because of this, because its meditation starts from dharana. So these dharana, dhyan, and samadhi are basically the um, advanced levels, like gradual intensification of your meditation. That ways. Okay, no? So I hope people will be able to remember this. The first one is at the body and the mind level, and the second is at the meditation level. So in two parts it is divided. Yeah. Yes. So we'll cover this. So what are the symptoms? Yeah. If the mind is made a friend, then a person will, or the devotee or a person will become neutral to all the material existence and the dualities, like the happiness, distress, right? Hot and cold, which is the words that helps us to understand that we should tolerate all such kinds of dualities. Please raise your hand. This is from chapter 2. Yes, please. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, Murari Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you have mentioned. Yeah, Akash Prabhuji, yeah. Yes, please. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhata agama paino nityastam stikshasva bharataha. So we have to tolerate. We have to tolerate the situations as well. So yeah, so this helps us understand completely neutral to all material existence and dualities. Sees all the object equally, pebbles, gold, stone. We have also seen one of the verses in the chapter, fifth chapter. What does it say? That a person, a wise sage, sees everyone equally. He's equipoised, he sees everyone equally. So what is the verse? Yes, please raise your hand. Which is the verse that helps us to understand? Such a person, he sees everyone equally. He's equivisioned, right? What is that? 5th chapter. Yes, Jibon Krishna Prabhuji. You're saying
First line
something
is
from...
the Brahmana Gavini Hastini. That's like sloka.
Yes,
But I
Shruniche
cannot memorize.
Vashupake Pakecha
Pandita
Panditah Samdarshana.
Samdarshan.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Yes. And fully satisfied Jnana and Vijnana. So there is a difference. So what is the difference between Jnana and Vijnana? Please raise your hand. What does this help us understand? We just covered. What is Jnana and Vijnana? It could be, yeah, in your words, please. Please raise your hand. Such a person understands. He's fully satisfied. Yes, Hare Krishna, Akash Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Mataji, Jnana is the theoretical knowledge and Vijnana is the realized knowledge.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, so this is what we just covered, Jnana and Vijnana, right? Where we said we should know knowledge of one's constitutional position. What is our role? What is our relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Who are we? What is our relationship? And to act accordingly, right? That is Vijnana. Jnana is to understand our real nature, and then Vijnana is to act according to that. Then when a living entity is Krishna conscious. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So, intended goal for every living entity is to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. And when the mind is misled by external illusory energy, we have seen, right? External illusory energy, a mind is misled, one becomes entangled in material activities. Any example wherein from the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you could relate to this particular point, when a mind is misled by external illusory energy, and a person got entangled in material activities. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, please, Naveen Sundar Nimai Prabhuji.
Ajamil.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhuji. Ajamila, yes. Very good. Even Saubhari Muni, just imagine, he was doing his tapasya. He was so much into his samadhi, and he just got, he just got attracted by just think about his senses and the mind. His mind and the senses, and he's at such an elevated state. He was at an elevated state, isn't it? And who are we? We are nothing, but just imagine the state from which he degraded himself. So his mind was misled by the external illusory energy, and he got entangled. Not even that, a great example of Bharat Maharaj. He was not into any kind of bad activities, right? But just he got misled by the external illusory energy because he got attachment just for the
Dear,
uh, yeah, just for the deer. Thank you, Prabhuji. So he just got that attachment for the deer he wanted, and he went behind it, just looking for that particular deer. And when he already knew, he had all the jnana, he was already practicing, and he was at the bhava stage. So just imagine, not only that, there is a very wonderful thing from this particular instance, pastime, is that which I heard from one of the classes, that association of devotees always matters a lot. It really helps our mind to be trained and to stay strong. Bharat Maharaj did not have that association. We understand it's not a part of that particular entire pastime, but yes, this was also mentioned in one of the classes by one of the teachers, that
Rishi
how
Vishwamitra.
association really helps. Yes, Rishi Vishwamitra, true, Prabhuji. So he was a yogi only, right?
First time he was actually Kshatriya. He is actually he has a war with Vasishtha Muni. He wanted to steal his Gavi, cow, Kamdhanu Gavi. And they think that the rishis are the best to fulfill our desire. So he went to forest and tried to get austerities. But Indra was very much afraid to that his throne will be stolen. And then he sent Menoka Apsara, and his mind is agitated by the glance of the Menoka, Vishwamitra, and so he breaks his tapasya.
Correct,
And
yes, Prabhuji.
he also married him. he is engaged in the material activities also. That's the degradation of the rishis.
So true. So true, Prabhuji. And it continued, with Shakuntala also. She got a curse, and then the story also again continued. So, I mean, obviously, when we are in the material existence, we never know, like how
Second
this.
time he was in trap. No, Vishwamitra. Okay.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Second time.
Actually, second time he realized that he is misleading, and then he leaves the samsara, and he went
Correct.
again in the forest to meditation. But then he is succeed.
Correct. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
succeeds
So.
to become a Brahma Rishi, Mataji. Actually, he wanted to become a Brahma Rishi.
Yes. Yes. One of the Brahma Rishis, true. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, mundane scholarship is not enough. Being completely neutral, how can we become neutral to all the material existence and dualities? See, in Bhakti Yoga, we also see one thing that we don't have to leave anything. What does NND Prabhuji say? He says, "तोड़ना नहीं, जोड़ना है."
Jodhna.
We have to, yes, we have to connect, we have to link. We don't have to leave anything. So, being completely neutral to all the material existence and dualities, mundane scholarship is not enough. Bookish knowledge is really not going to help us. How can we realize the supreme truth? We have to act in that way. So there is a beautiful shloka, this one. How to realize the book knowledge? Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahayam indriya sevon mukhe hi jivado swayam eva spurati adaha. By rendering transcendental devotional service to the Lord. So this verse helps us to understand this. I have opened it for you. Yeah. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi. So you will be learning this during the Bhakti Samrita Sindhu. So it says that material senses cannot appreciate. Our senses are imperfect, right? We know there are four defects, right? All of us understand there are four defects of the living entity. So material senses cannot appreciate Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes. We cannot appreciate the Lord's Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela. We try to. But when a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and starts rendering service, how? By using the tongue. Na bhavet grahyam indriya. We cannot appreciate by our indriya. What? Shri Krishna Nam Adi, Nam Rup Gun Leela. Sevon mukhe hi jiva do. We have to put our tongue into the service of the Lord. Then only we will start getting that. See, that manifestation will become. Sfurati adaha. So what will happen? We have to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we have to taste the remnants of the Lord's food. Then the tongue is purified and one gradually starts to understand who the Lord Sri Krishna really is. Very beautiful. So Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness. How one becomes Krishna conscious, not just by mundane scholarship, but we have to be fortunate enough to associate with a person who is in pure Krishna consciousness. We know about these verses now, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi. But who told us? I mean, until and unless we were we never knew about all these things. Is it really possible to understand the Bhagavad Gita as it is if we go and just directly go and buy from the market? Until and unless we really associate with the under the disciplic succession, yes, it is possible because it is written by Srila Prabhupada, isn't it? But still, the way we will understand with our imperfect senses, will it really make that particular sense which is really relevant or which is really the way it has to be understood? No, it is not possible. That is why the importance of we have to take the shelter and the surrender of our spiritual masters. And we have to take it only in the disciplic succession. So we have to associate with a person who is in pure Krishna consciousness. They are Paramhansas, right? So what does a Hansa do? Any idea? What does Hansa do? What does a Hansa do?
It separates
Yes,
milk
Hare
from
Krishna,
water
Akash
with
Milk
Prabhuji.
from water.
Yes,
with
yes, Hare
beverages.
Krishna. Yes,
Separate the milk
Prabhuji.
from water.
Yes, yes, everyone is saying. Yes, Akash Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam. Yes, please.
Mataji, yes, it separates the
Hmm.
water from milk.
Yes, yes. So how? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, so thus they are the Paramhansas, and we have to take the association of such people so that we can also get purified, and we can not only the purification, but when that purification will happen, we will start that the manifestation of the Lord's name, it will start happening. It is also mentioned in our book, right? The when we start chanting the holy name of the Lord, what happens? The Lord dances on the tongue. Yes. So the tongue is purified, and one gradually starts to understand who Lord Sri Krishna really is. So a Krishna conscious person, they are realized souls. So yeah, he is satisfied. So these are the qualities. So they being completely neutral to all material existence and dualities. This is the continuation wherein satisfied, steady, self, scholarship, and mental speculation. So these are the qualities of a Krishna conscious person who is a realized soul, that they are satisfied with the devotional service. Because therefore he has realized the knowledge by grace of Krishna. Would someone like to read this, please? Please volunteer. Yes, please. Yes, Jibon Krishna Chaitanya Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Bhagavad Gita text 6 to 7 to 9 continues. Being completely neutral to all material existence and dualities, a Krishna conscious person is a realist soul. He is satisfied with devotional service, therefore he has realized knowledge by the grace of Krishna. Steady in conviction, in strength of his realized knowledge, oh my mere academic knowledge, one can be easily deluded and confused by apparent contradiction. Self-control by the strength of his realist knowledge, scholarship, mundane, and mental speculation which are gold to others are as good as people or stone. Emphasis on taking association with Krishna conscious person. Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness, cannot be understood by mundane scholarship. Real fortune to associate with one in pure consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so thus we see that so a Krishna conscious person is satisfied. He's always satisfied. He's always steady in his convictions uh, because of the strength of his realized knowledge. We have seen, right, the difference between the jnana and the vijnana. And by mere academic knowledge, one can get easily deluded and confused by apparent contradictions. Along with when we see the scholarship, mundane mental speculators, they also get, see, academic knowledge, what can happen? It's really not, it is mentioned as ignorance, right? It is ignorance only, avidya. So by mere academic knowledge, one can be easily deluded and it confused by apparent contradictions. People believe in the Big Bang theory. People believe in the, I don't know. Obviously, people might not be believing in the theory of evolution. Obviously, I hope nobody is believing, but there are people who believe there is this satellite has gone to the moon planet. That the satellite has really gone to the moon planet. Or people also believe that the Big Bang theory kind of a thing. It's really not possible, right? So by mere academic knowledge, not only that, if we talk about our science itself, so we know in our science, in academic studies, what do we understand? That sun is the central point, or no? It's the other way around. That is in Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? The sun is ideally the one. Whereas, what do we understand in academic this thing? It's different. I'll check. I'll let you know. I don't want to confuse anybody. Let me check. I'll share that. So yeah, so self-control
According
by the
to
strength of
science,
sorry,
I think
Prabhuji, yes.
according to science, they say sun is also one star. That's all.
Hmm. Yeah, that is true. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. And we have so much of the entire Vedic planetarium. We have our Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about the entire planetary system, isn't it? The power of the sun, the role of the sun, also, isn't it? How I think that's the sun only, isn't it? With respect to the planetary systems, when we talk about how the rotation is happening, the revolution, the rotation around that entire mandala, how those 7 islands were formed. In case if we go through those chapters, Jambu Dweep and other, which talks about these planetary systems, I believe that's the canto. 8th canto? No, that talks about the Manvantara. Third, Atra Sarga Visargascha Sthanam Poshanamutaya. Sthanam, that's Sthanam, right? The formation of all the planetary systems, yeah. Yeah, so scholarship, mundane and mental speculations which are gold to others are as good as pebbles or stones. It is also mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Jivera Nistara Lagi Sutra Kela Vyas Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Hai Sarvanash. So this is what is the condition of the people, That is why we just saw in one of the verses why people of Kali Yuga are known as misguided and they are misfortunate because of this reason, because their minds are disturbed, people's minds are disturbed, because of which it's very easily to get trapped under different whims of the people, people who become just show bottle spiritualists or so-called sannyasis or the gurus, right? People are innocent, they just fall in this particular trap, and that is why it is mentioned mayavadi bhashya sunile hai sarvanash. And why they are innocent? Because they are ignorant. This entire the cycle, it starts from the ignorance only, avidya. Emphasis on taking association with Krishna conscious persons. Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness. It cannot be understood by mundane scholarship, and real fortune it is to associate only with those who are in pure consciousness, only with the pure devotees of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada and all his disciples, the bona fide spiritual master. Yes, would someone like to read this, please? Ashtanga Yoga. Yes, please volunteer.
The purpose of practicing
Okay, yes, Archana Mataji, yes, please.
the purpose of practicing Eightfold Yoga is to control the mind in order to make it a friend in discharging the human mission. The constitutional position of the living entity is to carry out the order of the superior. As long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictations of lust, anger, avarice, illusion, etc.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So, yes, a person has to serve the dictations of lust, anger, kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, matsar. If the mind is an enemy, unconquered enemy. But when the mind is, just imagine the struggle of an Ashtanga yogi in the initial stages. He has to control his mind. He has to stay away from the attractions of the sense objects. He has to withdraw himself from the sense objects. So there is a struggle, but the devotee doesn't have to struggle. So, but when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the personality of God, and they follow the advice, they follow the instructions of the Lord. And how do they follow the instructions of the Lord? In the form of a guru. And Lord Balram is our Guru Tattva. You know, Lord Balram, he represents Guru Tattva. For one who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. For one who takes to, yes. So, yeah, mind is the driver. If you ask your driver, so see, mind is your driver, and you're asking your driver, please get me into the Krishna consciousness temple. The driver will bring you here. And if you ask your driver, please get me in that liquor house, the driver will drive you there. The driver's business is to drive you wherever you like, isn't it? So intelligence is also working. But how clever is the mind? It depends, how cunning it could be and how good it can be. So it depends upon the way we control. Similarly, your mind is the driver. Yeah, see, similarly, the way we control. If you lose control, then wherever he likes, he will take you. Then you are gone. And then your driver is your enemy. But if your driver acts on your order, then he is your friend. Bhagavad Gita 6.225, Los Angeles, February 14, 1969. Yes, we have an activity now, personal application. How do you control your mind? And you can share your, and this is, please, this is with respect to your personal applications only. So, yeah, so please relate with respect to that. your practice on how to try to control your mind before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness. Yes, please. So how many participants do we have? Prabhuji, I hope you have shared the
10.
attendance link.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
Already shared the attendance, and those who have finished the attendance have gone.
Yes, so Indra's plea, Prabhuji, you have shared. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, so he goes to Brahmaji and he asks for this. He goes and then he tells about that. It asks him to go to the Dichi Muni also, right? To get that
Yes, Mataji.
astra. Yeah. So Indra's pride. Indra, the king of gods, became overly proud. Brihaspati's departure. Yeah, he disappeared from there. If you will go through the purports of Srila Prabhupada, you will understand. I mean, the way they are written, it's so simple, such a simple way to understand the things, and
It
very
is basically
powerful,
Guru
very
Nindana.
powerful. So without
Okay.
Brihaspati's guidance, the Devas are vulnerable. They became weak because they did
They were
not get
conquered.
the blessings of their spiritual master now. He had disrespected him. And this is not the first time. He did once more with someone else when one of the rishis, he offered a garland to Indra, and what Indra did, he offered it to the elephant, Airavat. And what did Airavat do? He just
He
Oh,
trampled
matched
it.
the garland with his
Hmm.
trampled
feet.
the gun.
Yeah, he
It
trampled
put
it,
under
and
his
again he got a
put under
curse.
his feet and
So,
crushed it.
so now what do we understand from this? See, the point is Indra, he is a devotee of the Lord. Okay, I shouldn't say like we should be able to understand it in such a way that why these kinds of pastimes have been mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Indra is a devotee of the Lord, but see the powerful material energy that every time he forgets the Lord. So initially he forgot the Lord when he forgot him, and then Brahmaji also forgot the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When? How did this happen? Do you remember the pastime? Please raise your hand.
It was in
I request
Vrindavan.
to please
It was
raise
in
your hand.
Vrindavan when Brahmaji was jealous of Krishna.
Hmm?
So he took away
Yeah,
all
Brahma.
the cow and the small kids there. But that is
Right, right.
when Krishna transformed, or he expanded of all kids and all cows, and
Hmm.
they were all going back to their home. And that is
Correct.
when
Yes,
Brahma
Prabhuji.
realizes and
Brahma
comes back
Yeah.
and
So just imagine, like the power of the material energy, they get illusion. And later again, it happened with Indra. With Indra, when did this happen? He forgot that the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very famous pastime.
yeah, Govardhan Giri.
Yes,
Govardhan Leela.
yes. Govardhan Leela, yes. So this way we understand that. So he is a demigod. He is the pure devotee of the Lord. And yeah, and one of the Prabhujis recently was discussing in one of the classes very beautiful point when it's a part of the 10th canto wherein the demigods are offering their prayers to the Lord. Okay, so now when the demigods are offering their prayers to the Lord, they are mentioning, okay, I will appear. They are requesting the Lord to appear. Okay, so when they are requesting, the demigods are offering their prayers. Chapter 2, that's Canto 10, Chapter 2. Please, you can just go through it. You will get to know this. And when they're offering their prayers, and he's saying, okay, I will appear whenever such kind of a pure devotee will appear. Some mention was there when we were. So I'm sorry, I'm just taking you to the 10th canto. So I will appear. He says, okay, the advent of Lord Krishna, he says, okay, I will appear. Krishna. Okay, no worries. Okay, so the real intent of this particular point was that he wanted to make a point. He was mentioning that you are not a pure devotee. I will appear. You carry on. You take up all the this thing. the atrocities of Kamsa till the time, because there was this incident that was happening, no, with respect to the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. So he says, the intent was that you are not a pure devotee. I will appear when the pure devotee will be there. This means to the purpose of this was that the indication is that you are not a pure devotee. So just imagine, like so the demigods, they are very respectful. They are working. They're carrying out the orders of the Lord. But the point is, uh, at times, because of this Maya, material energy, they also get deluded. So how strong is the Maya? So that is the purpose of mentioning this. Yes, please. We'll just quickly go with respect to this particular activity. We can either have the breakout rooms, or what we is it visible to everyone? Is my screen visible? Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't.
Yes,
I
Mataji.
was- Okay.
No,
So
nothing
yes,
is visible.
Prabhuji. So okay, thank you. So yeah, we can quickly have this breakout room activity. How to try to control your mind before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness, please. So how many participants do we have? We have 7 participants. Is it 8? Yes.
Six,
So
Mataji. 6 plus 1, 7.
7 participants. We can have 3 rooms, Prabhuji. We'll just make 3 breakout rooms and we'll quickly have it. We can just have the discussion in 2 minutes and then we can just get back and participate and share the discussion points. Create a breakout room. Just making 3, okay? Why is it appearing like this? Yes, please, Prabhuji. I've added. Breakout rooms will close automatically after 2 minutes. Okay, no? Is it fine? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
please. Request everyone to join. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Uh, 4 participants are yet to join. Revati Nand Sevini Mataji, Archana Mataji, yes, joined. Yes, Revati Nand Sevini Mataji, please join the rooms. Yours is room 1, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Sorry, I
Hare
think it
Krishna Mataji.
Mataji.
closed early, isn't it?
No, it
Just
closed
like
up.
that.
2 minutes was there.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. I thought maybe it happened that way. Okay, thank you. So yeah, let's continue the discussion. Who will be participating from the very different groups? So we had 3 groups.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, yes, please. Please raise your hands. I can't make out. Yes, please raise your hands. Who will be participating? Who will be speaking on behalf of the team? Or if everyone is participating, that is also fine. Request you to please raise your hand.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumar Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Me and Murari Prabhu were there in the participation group, Mataji. Basically,
Okay.
the practical implication how I did control my mind is it was basically Harinam chanting one. Second thing is reading books. Basically, about science of self-realization is one thing, and back to Godhead. You know that book. In fact, I just downloaded from the net somehow in the Word format. It was part. It was not fully there, but part and parcel. Then little bit of other Prabhupada book. A lot of small books were there where it was all in Tamil, Mataji. Actually, I started this Bhagavad Gita class with NND Prabhu for the first English batch during Corona days, and then switched over to Tamil, and then back to English after that. So the mind control came slowly by reading more of books from my side. Whenever I get a little bored earlier, it is like call up one of your friend and just pass time with them, chat around, speaking nonsense and maybe going around to places which is prohibited according to Krishna conscious state. So that was my routine. Now there is no time. In fact, like I have a lot of interest now to read books and things like that. The admin job, the other, Krishna conscious jobs
Yes,
is occupying so
Sevas.
much that, reading 5 pages in a day becomes very difficult. Earlier, I used to sit down and read one full book, then I get up.
Hmm.
So
But
when you are
Prabhuji, yeah,
imagining,
that is also required. I mean, that
yeah, that
strengthens our
seva,
mind.
yes,
Yeah,
that
Swadhyaya is very, very
seva also, yes, seva
Seva is
also
nice to
happens parallelly, Mataji.
very
That
true.
is how I
Thank
control.
you.
And from
Yes.
1 round to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. Now I am out to 24, maybe
Very
hopefully
good.
to 32, Mataji.
Very
Maybe
good.
with
Very
all your
nice,
blessing, definitely 32
Prabhuji.
is definitely achievable. Hare Krishna,
Very
Mataji.
nice. Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Prabhu. Yes. Yes, Jivon Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, please.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Dhanavad to all Vaishnavas.
Dhanavad Pranam,
Sarveshwari.
Prabhuji.
I am from breakout room 3 and with
Hmm?
Archana Mataji.
Okay.
And we discussed about that the point how to control, how to try control to control our mind before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness. Actually, first time before coming to Krishna consciousness, actually Krishna means that Krishna means all attractive. Every living thing is attracted by the Krishna's opulence. So I am also attracted to Krishna, but I try to go temple, ISKCON Mayapur temple, and first time I see the Radha Madhav in the temple, how nicely is decorated and so nicely is worshipped by the pure devotees, and the
Mm-hmm.
kirtana is running with the pure devotional. The vibrate of kirtan is so emerging thought in the mind of my that I am very much pleased that actually Srimad Bhagavatam is read that Sinutam Shakata Krishna Punna Savan Kirtana Ridanta Tasta Abhadrani Vidyanati Shvacha. My mind was so contaminated, but by the by hearing the Lord's name, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, my mind actually it is not actually it is not purified totally, but I am trying to purify my heart by chanting, and it is the totally done. It is happened totally by the march of the pure devotional, pure devotee of the Lord. I associate with them, and after association after associate with them, I am trying to read over the books. And first time I buy the Bhagavad Gita. That time my pocket was so nil. Actually, I am actually giving tuition and the collect money from, and then buy Bhagavad Gita and try to read. After reading the preface, actually in Bengali it is called Bhumika. I am so much absorbed in Krishna consciousness that time that I am unable to stay in the material activities, and so I try to regulate my control my senses. Actually, for principle of regulating that type of then Ekadashi, that type of all that happened. And after that, coming Krishna conscious, I realized that I was in the pool of contaminated material pool actually, and pure devotee is pulling me from this contaminated world, and I am situated in the spiritual world. That is happened actually for my association with the pure devotees. I am so happy now. It is not that I am materially very much highly situated, but I am in spiritually situated, and that type of situation is needed to every living entities to be happy.
Yes, so
Hare
true,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Yes, Vinodhar Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna
Mataji,
Prabhuji.
to
Pranam.
keep it brief before and after. Before, there was not some structured method how we could control our mind. Sometimes I will go to movies, sometimes I will play some music, sometimes I will go to roadside temples and thereby control my eagerness or mind. But now, after coming to Krishna consciousness, I have got a structured method. If anything, if mind plays any trick, I sit down, start my japa. It is all. Very simple method available with me now. And I have personally felt that, not once, but 3-4 times. When I was slightly upset, so I thought what to do. I sat down, did some japa, 2-3 malas. I was perfect. So I have practiced this not once, but 3-4 times. So now there is no problem. I have got an antibiotic with me. If any mind plays any trick, I immediately take one capsule. It is off.
Yes, so true, Prabhuji.
Well said,
That is the
Prabhuji. Well
power.
said. Well said.
Power of the holy name. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm really sorry. I just extended the time for everyone. We'll just wind up now. We'll just end up the session. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubheshya kripa sindhu vyayevcha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant koti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. God
Hare
Premanandi.
Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, everyone. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji.
Thank you so much. Yes.